Hi everyone, welcome to Honey Drops Tarot. This is a reading for the air signs, Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini. Air signs, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of your likes, shares, and subscribes. I truly appreciate it. Just a quick note, please do not fall for any scammers. I will never reach out to solicit for private readings. I do offer private readings, and if you're interested in signing up for one or to make any donations, the link to that can be found in the About section of my YouTube page. So air signs, this is a pretty special reading. I thought it was a really necessary reading. It is what you should be cutting cords with. And if you've never heard of that or you've never cut cords before, I highly encourage it. We have an energetic connection to everyone and everything. We are energy. And sometimes, if you've ever experienced this, that a situation or a person or a group of people can drain your energy. They can make you feel absolutely exhausted or codependent or all of these kind of feelings that are not for your best and highest good. So one way to protect yourself or to combat that is to cut cords, cut energetic cords with those individuals or with those organizations or with those environments so that we can, give them back their energy and you can take back your own energy. There's a great 5 minutes meditation on YouTube by Colette Baron Reed. I think it's called Cutting the Cord. It's amazing. I've done it many, many times. And I found that when I cut the cords with people, those people somehow come back one last time or they find their way back. And it just kind of shows that it's working because you've taken your energy back. You've reclaimed your energy. So I highly encourage it. And so this reading is just basically telling you what Spirit's advice is regarding what you should or what you could cut cords with. You have free will. You can do what you want. So, sorry. I've done this for every reading. Air signs, I'm going to be doing your tarot reading today with the Light Seers Tarot by Chrysanne and taking an overall energy with the Sacred Rebels Oracle. So, loving both of these decks. So, air signs, I hope that you are recovering from Mercury retrograde. I think that's also why I wanted to do these cord cutting readings, because I think a lot of stuff happened during Mercury retrograde that we would do best to leave behind us, right? So, these decks have been pre-shuffled, but just gonna shuffle a little bit more because Spirit asked me to. For your reading today, I chose 2 crystals. This one is beautiful smoky quartz, has these beautiful inclusions in it. Smoky quartz crystal for grounding. And this apatite, it's called apatite crystal. It's beautiful blue for weight release. So not just physical weight, but also emotional weight, spiritual weight perhaps. So getting the overall reading for the air signs. What is the theme? Okay. Wow, look at this. It's so bright. It's kind of circles upon circles upon circles, and the word is heaven sent. Number 33, so that's a master number that we don't reduce. And you can see kind of, there's like, almost looks like Metatron's cube. Metatron being one of the archangels. Wow, this is really, I haven't gotten this for anyone else. It's very stunning. Maybe it's saying that you're heaven sent. I do see a kind of transmission, an emitting of energy, right? With the eyes closed, it's like deep in thought, deep in, it's so beautiful for the air sign, right? Kind of really concentrating around the crown chakra, and the third eye chakra. But there's a, you know, there isn't like a flurry or an overactivity of burdening thought in this card, at least. It seems so incredibly serene. Like there's a knowledge from the divine that you have access to at this time. Wow. Well, I mean, I certainly wouldn't want to cut cords with that energy because it's just so, I feel good like looking at it. So I hope you do too. Let's see. 4 cards for the base spread, 4 cards for clarifier. I will pull more clarifiers if I need to. Air signs, I have a feeling this is going to be a really powerful reading for you. Okay. So you got 3 major arcana. Major arcana, when I reference that, talks about the first 22 cards of the tarot deck. Major arcana, the big energies. Minor arcana, the little energies. So what is divinely guided versus what is kind of influenced by you and I, by us mere mortals. Divine as we are. So in the first, this is a cord cutting, so we are going to be looking at what needs to go. What needs to go? So interesting. Wheel of Fortune. Thank you, Spirit. And the Ace of Swords. First of all, straight into your energy. Swords are air energy. So this is so perplexing, and I'm going to have to pull another card on it because normally the Wheel of Fortune would just be an absolute windfall. This is divine clarity. So, you know, Jupiter represents the Wheel of Fortune card. Expansion, good luck, things going your way, divine timing. And this is downloads, just like this. Downloads from Spirit. It's kind of staircasing. It's almost like so now I'm hearing that Police song, Every Step You Take, right? Every step you take, well, not that song exactly, just that one line, just the name of the song. But it's kind of like ascending higher and higher and higher. So this is so perplexing because why, Spirit, would this be something that needs to go? Justice card. Interesting. The Justice card represents Libra energy. So Libra, you showed up in your own reading. It talks about karmic balance. Things coming into a kind of cosmic alignment. That where there was lack, now there is something to fill it, vice versa. It's interesting too that I've had this deck for years, and I just now put together that these two kind of scales are on a blade. Almost as if, like, if they moved just an inch towards their center, the scales would cut. They would fall to the ground. So it's almost like there's a fragility here that Spirit is saying. It's so interesting because maybe Spirit is saying, you've received your karmic justice. You've received your windfall. And now it's time to release. Release what? I'm going to have to pull another card. Air signs, I'm not entirely sure because these energies are fantastic. This energy is fantastic. So you got two cards. The Fool energy in the reverse and the Seven of Wands. Okay, okay. Thank you, Spirit. I was like, where are we going with this, Spirit? You know, now that you've kind of come in, I want to say come into your own, that you've reaped the benefit, the reward, that perhaps you took a gamble on something and it paid off for you. They're dice around her neck that add up to a 10, which is the number of the Wheel of Fortune. You took a gamble. You took a gamble and it went in your favor. It was perhaps something that, you know, Spirit divined to you, like your instincts kicked in, worked out for you. Now you may be feeling a little protective over it. You may be feeling as though you can't go any further. We're going to just sit in our safe little bubble for now. We're going to... The Seven of Wands, it's a fire energy. In the suit of the Wands, by the time we reach the 7, we've kind of taken the hill. We've fought very diligently for what we have. And now it's almost like, I always like to say, grabby hands getting grabby. Like they're energies that you may feel that might be coming after your good fortune and your karmic balance. You might be feeling that, and so you're finding all the ways to shield yourself, right? Not in a toxic way. It's not toxic, but this is the kicker: the Fool in reverse. Normally, this is another major arcana, very divinely guided energies here. The Fool, major arcana number 1. Fool describes the whole journey of the tarot, right? It's the Fool's journey. It's taking that leap of faith so that we can progress to the next level. And so Spirit is saying, actually, by you holding on very tightly to whatever you just gained, you inhibit yourself from making bold steps and moving forward. It's kind of a strange message, because normally, you know, it's almost like, well, Spirit, can't I just enjoy my good fortune for half a second? Well, of course you can. You can enjoy it, but it's almost like they just said, don't rest on your laurels. Don't, and it's strange too, because I don't see the Four of Pentacles here. Four of Pentacles would talk about somebody who is miserly and just holds on really tight to what they have, their finances and their belongings, and it's just like wrapped up real close to them. That's not the energy that I'm feeling right now. The energy actually feels really beautifully positive, almost as if you've cut cords already. So take that as it resonates. Maybe you've already been doing the work. This is radically different from the other elements of the readings that I've done for the other elements. It's really, really different. So maybe you've been getting these downloads from Spirit. You already have a kind of insight into this heaven-sent good fortune. But sometimes when we get something good, when we get something nice, then there's the fear that we're going to lose it. I'm going to give you an example. It just came to me that I heard in a reading that was from another reader, and she used this example. She said, sometimes when you get something good, you kind of want to squirrel it away because it's a beautiful gem. Or imagine it's like a watch. You have a watch, you have like a beautiful, very expensive watch for days when you go out on the town and you want to kind of flaunt it. And then you have your everyday watch, which is significantly less expensive, and it's for your everyday, and you don't really have a lot invested in it. If it gets scratched or damaged, it's okay. But soon you realize that you're going to wear your everyday watch every day, and you're only going to bring out your special expensive watch on certain occasions. But then you forget about it because it's so expensive and it's so important, and you just tuck it away. And then you just start using the everyday watch, right? So it's almost like there's some part of you that whatever this windfall was, it doesn't have to be financial. It could just be a beautiful stroke of good luck. And Spirit doesn't want to take that away from you. You almost believe that it will be taken away from you. So instead of using that good luck, good fortune to make a bold move forward, kind of elevate yourself into the next. So a piece of selenite, this piece of selenite, I've kind of 2 levels to my desk, and it just fell off my desk. So there needs to be a cleansing, right? That you've received the downloads from Spirit. You already know that this was meant for you, but there may be a feeling that it's going to be taken away because it's too good. And then you get into this kind of cycle with yourself where you don't want to risk it, because the Fool is about risk. It's about taking the leap of faith. You see what I just noticed? She's holding a crystal in her hand. Right, the Fool isn't normally represented like this, right? In other tarot readings, you see, I choose the decks intuitively. It's not a coincidence that a crystal fell off my desk. So just from one level to another level, right? It's okay, and it didn't break. Nothing happened to it. So Spirit is saying you have to let go of the fear. Man. Spirit shows me, I live kind of on a big road, and trucks that drive by, and people pass under my window, and birds and bees land on my windowsill, and all these things, and I'm just constantly getting messages. And I just saw a trash truck drive by, and it's just kind of like, take that fear out with the trash. Sounds so strange, but that's what came to my head. So why does it need to go? So that was what needs to go. And why does it need to go? Well, it's because with the greater the fear, the greater the disconnect from Spirit. And it's so important right now that you in particular air signs are connected to Spirit. Maybe that's not, I know a lot of air signs that are very spiritual, religious, have a higher belief system. That's, so I'm not saying that, but sometimes I think that if we're, for an air sign, I would imagine, and please feel free to chime in, but you're looking at the observable world and processing the observable world just like we all are, and kind of using your brilliant mind to suss everything out, to analyze it, to be objective about things, to look at things from all sorts of vantage points and situations. And so when we're dealing with concepts that we can't necessarily see, like divinity and energy, we can see energy scientifically, but in our day-to-day, we're not walking around with Geiger counters or whatever it is that measures energy, right? We're just walking around with our internal guidance system. We rely on that, our gut feeling. And sometimes the gut and the head are in direct conflict with one another. So it could be difficult for an air sign to make this a priority, make the connection to the divine priority. The Hierophant, number 5, talks about a person or a governing body, you know, like a church or, you know, a synagogue, a mosque, you know, a temple, a grouping that has a earthly connection to the divine, or a representation of that connection. They call the Hierophant the Pope of the Tarot. In this deck, he's kind of guru-like. He's very, very free-spirited, loosey-goosey, you know, wearing a t-shirt and probably yoga pants, just, you know, not kind of all buttoned up like the traditional Hierophant. It's a disconnect right now. And that's clarified by the 3 of Cups, looking out to the stars. This is can be a camaraderie, a friendship circle, a soul tribe, a soul community, right? This soul community looking up at the stars, trying to find connection. So why does this fear need to go? Why do you need to cut that fear away from you of you losing your good fortune, of you losing your, you know, of being in it's weird because it's almost like you receive good fortune, but you're still in lack mentality, according to these cards and how I'm interpreting it, right? Take it as it resonates. If it doesn't resonate, it's not your reading. It's a strange one. I'm gonna admit to you, like, I feel it's a little bit, it's beautiful energies. I feel so calm. Even the way that I'm talking, I feel very calm in this energy. So it's nothing to be worried about. It's simply, you know, when we're talking about how we can improve our energetic field, there is something that you are fearing that you're going to lose. And Spirit is saying, have faith. That's what the Fool card is all about. That's what both these cards are about. So what's the lesson here? I think this is so fascinating just on a personal level. Because I don't know if you've watched any of my readings, I have stated that I am a twin flame. And whenever I see these 2 cards together, the Chariot card and the King of Swords, this would represent me and this would represent my twin flame. So maybe I'm speaking to some twin flames out there. Take it as it resonates. What's the lesson? The Chariot card is Major Arcana number 7, representing Cancer energy. And it talks about this mastery over the light and the dark, the yin and the yang energies. It's a mastery over our separation between divine masculine and divine feminine. It's almost like coming into a kind of oneness so that there is progress and movement forward. It is a card of, it could be a card of international travel, but it can also represent a card of victory, like the chariot races, right? And crossing a finish line to victory. And with the King of Swords, this is can represent Gemini energy, also Libra. It is an air sign. He's the master of the air signs. He's surrounded here by, you know, fine feathered friends, winged creatures, and this, he's up in this elevation. Sorry, air signs. Big truck going by. He's up in the mountains, right? So he's kind of perched high above everything else, in a state of contemplation, a knowingness, an authority, right? So there is, what is the lesson in all of that is understanding the kind of power that you're actually wielding right now. I don't know that, is it too much for you to admit that something was heaven sent? I just heard that. Is it too much for you to admit that something was heaven sent? Did something happen where it was just against all odds? And it doesn't have to be this tremendous thing. It could just be a beautiful, beautiful synchronicity, and you just can't figure it out. Your brain, your rational brain, cannot make heads or tails of it because it makes no cognitive sense. But you know it's for you somehow, right? So the lesson being that deep understanding that while we can sit in this energy and contemplate it, there is this drive to move forward, to forge ahead, to understand that there's kind of these divine masculine and feminine energies within you that are both going after and receiving at the same time. And I pull a clarifier card on it. Nine of Pentacles. Such beautiful, like, this is gorgeous energy. Like, I'm very happy for you, is how I'm going to say it. Nine of Pentacles is pre-Empress energy. It can represent a person that is in a single status, but, you know, maybe it's a singular state of mind. Definitely independent, definitely has worked hard to accumulate all of these beautiful pentacles, this pentacle energy, which is earth energy, the material world, kind of finances, but also great opportunities, doors, you know, doors opening left and right. And here we also see this kind of falcon and falconry figure here. So even in an earth sign card, you still got a bird representing you. And being quite all right on your own. It's almost like not needing to justify anything. Like, I see there behind this, there are lots of herbs being, they're hanging upside down, so they're being dried out, so that that kind of denotes health, good health to me, like a cognizance of your physical body. It's almost like when you're not losing any part of who you are by accepting that something could be heaven sent and you can't explain it fully. That doesn't betray who you are. It's just one more aspect of the human condition, right? To understand that maybe there is a higher power, whatever you want to call that, or a higher energy force than the one that we are used to conceiving. And that through that acknowledgement, you will continue to celebrate victories and accomplishment. And what is Spirit's advice right now? We end on kind of a strange note, the Knight of Swords and the Two of Wands. It's almost like sometimes I hear that Roxette song in my head, which is a very old band from the 80s, I guess. It's called Listen to Your Heart. And the one lyric that just popped into my mind was, I don't know where I'm going, and I don't know why. I don't know where I'm going, and I don't know why. So this is not to suggest that you're just somehow aimless, right? Because that push forward, you're completely sprinting into action towards that motorcycle. And again, here's that hawk in the sky. Or rather a crow but I went to a park today before I did this reading, and I saw my spirit animal, a heron, literally take flight right in front of me. It was absolutely the most majestic thing ever. And it's almost like heralding this beautiful message for the air signs. You know, like the night has something to say. Nights always bring messages. So Spirit is basically encouraging you that when this night comes your way with this very beautiful download, right? Or maybe an earth angel representing Spirit is going to be talking straight to you. Have you ever had that happen? Have you ever realized that when you were talking to somebody that they were actually channeling a message to you? That's happened to me several times. Somebody just like in the cafeteria channels a message to you that is so profound. They don't even realize how profound it is. That's the kind of thing I'm talking about. That it's going to provide you with clear insight as to which direction you move into. There's a globe right here, and there's a choice between two directions. So Spirit is saying, listen, absorb everything that Spirit is trying to provide. So that's your reading, air signs. It's a strange one. It's not like the other elements in terms of what you have to cut, because it's not a person. It's not a company. It's not a family member. It's simply this fear that you're going to lose. You're not going to lose. It came to you for a reason. It's still divine. It's meant for you. What is meant for you will not pass you by. So thank you so much. Please like, share, subscribe, comment down below if you resonated with this message. Hit the bell notification if you'd like to be updated as to when I post new readings. Thanks, air signs.